Hi guys! Welcome back sa aming channel. It's been a while since our last vlog. Sobrang nag-busy kami and then yun nga nagkasakit din ako kasi pabago-bago ang temperature here in Saskatchewan. Minsan nagma-minus 30, nagma-minus 20 and then nagma-minus 11, something like that and then magpa-positive siya. So, since pabago-bago yung temperature, uso yung mga sakit like colds and then flu, ganyan. But anyway guys, we are back with another video. So, for today's topic, I'll be sharing with you the benefits of getting a post-secondary education while you are a permanent resident. So, if you're interested with this topic, please continue watching. Just a quick background guys, I came here in Canada as a temporary foreign worker. So ang pinakaunang job ko here in Canada ay food counter attendant sa Tim Hortons. But then when I got my PR, my permanent residency, I was eyeing to apply sa mga admin jobs, sa mga like hospital or clinic, but it's really hard for me to get into it kasi nga ang experience ko ay mostly sa food and service industry even in the Philippines. Even though I graduated Bachelor's of Science in Tourism Management, it's really hard for me to get into like an entry level admin jobs here in Canada. Lalo na guys, if you are eyeing a government positions here in Canada, syempre, they will require you a post-secondary education. So, alam naman natin guys na ang Canada is a very well-known country that home to a world-class educational institutions. So, one way for me to upgrade my skills and my career is to go back to school and get a post-secondary education. So, ayun nga, I was able to get my post-secondary education sa Saskatchewan Polytechnic. So, I graduated last year of June. So, maraming mga advantages guys if you are pursuing a post-secondary education and you are a permanent resident. Yan yung mga benefits na makukuha nyo as a permanent resident is that you can access the educational system here in Canada. Siyempre, since you are a permanent resident here, you are considered a domestic student if you decided na mag-aral sa mga post-secondary institutions. So, why Saskatchewan Polytechnic? Saskatchewan Polytechnic is Saskatchewan's primary public post-secondary technical education and skills training na very popular here in Canada, nationally, and internationally. And talagang sobrang ganda ng curriculum talaga ng SAS Polytech. And they also offered continuing education through distance learning education. So when I took up my program, dito kasi guys, ang tawag sa course, di ba sa atin sa Pilipinas, ang course, for example, for me, ang course ko ay Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management. Pero dito kasi, ang tawag nila sa course ay program. Ang subject sa atin, ang tawag nila dito ay courses. Yun. So, when I was searching talaga, nagustuhan ko yung curriculum talaga ng SAS Polytech and they also offered distance learning education. So, ginawa ko yung program ko, ano lang talaga, online lang siya. Purely online while I have my full-time job. So, hindi hassle sa akin para magpunta pa ako ng SAS Poly, ganyan. And then, we moved nga here in Saskatoon din 2 years ago. So, yun, naano ko pa rin siya, parang while I have my full-time job, I can also study online kasi may distance learning education din na ino-offer ang SAS Polytech. But it depends sa course guys sa program na kukunin nyo. Yun nga, good thing nga kasi yung program ko talagang they offered it through distance learning education. Kaya super talagang convenient for me. So, ano nga ba yung mga benefits na makukuha nyo if you decided na mag-pursue ng post-secondary education while you are a permanent resident? So, here in Canada guys, ang post-secondary education, ang meaning niyan ay yung highest level of educational attainment mo ay yun nga yung sa trade certificate or apprenticeship or yung mga non-university certificate or diploma. Now, if you decided na i-pursue ang post-secondary education while you are a permanent resident, syempre, since you are a domestic student, syempre, ang tuition fee mo ay 3 to 5 times cheaper than international student. So, tuition fee for domestic students, for permanent resident and Canadian citizen, are subsidized by the Canadian government. Kaya, mas less ang tuition fee ng domestic student sa international student. So, just a reference, guys, I'm gonna give you an example. So, if you choose the program sa Musjo Campus, Saskatchewan Polytechnic Musjo Campus, ang program ay Business Diploma. Tapos, ang intake nito ay sa fall, so tapos na to from last year. Ang start date niya ay August 29, 2022. Ang end date niya ay April 26, 2023. So, malapit na. Ang tuition fee nito for domestic student ay 5,372.50. Ang estimated books ay 2,000 Canadian dollars. And then, ang computer ay $1,837. So, ang estimated total ay 9,209 and 50 cents Canadian dollar. So, I'm gonna post the screenshot of this comparison dito sa ating video para magkaroon kayo ng idea. Now, pag international student, ang iyong halimbawa, mag-apply kayo as an international student, same program, same campus, same intake. So, ang tuition fee ay total niyan ay 20,372 Canadian dollar. So, from 9,209 for domestic student, sa international student ay 20,372 Canadian dollar ang tuition fee. Just a reference, guys. Syempre, it depends yan sa program na kukunin nyo. Kasi, iba-iba rin kasi yung course included sa specific program. Kaya, iba-iba rin ang magiging, tuition fee niyan. So, one of the benefits then of studying as a permanent resident or Canadian citizen is that you can get an assistance from the government through student loan and student grant. So, sa student loan, you have to pay it back 6 months after you finish your program. Pag sa student grant naman, you don't have to pay anything to the government, but it depends sa income threshold nyo. So, that's what happened to me too, guys. So, I started as a part-time student. So, yung part-time student na tinatawag dito ay kukuha ka lang ng mga 2 or 3 courses. Yung kaya mo lang. Since I also have a full-time job, so sabi ko magpa-part-time studies muna ako. So, kaso, I got a position nga sa like government region here in Saskatchewan. So, they gave me a conditional employment wherein I need to finish my program like 1 year after my employment date or something like that. So, from part-time student, ginawa ko siyang full-time student. So, I was able to get a student grant as well. Pero konti lang kasi nga parehas kami may full-time job ni Jeff. And, so yung part nun, since sobrang mahal din guys, masyadong costly din ang tuition fee dito. So, in student loan ko yung ibang part. Ganon. So, yun lang. Dito kasi sa Saskatchewan, sa Saskatchewan Polytechnic, they will give you a form that you have to fill out. Tapos, ibibigay mo yung information mo doon. Tapos, dito sa Saskatchewan, sa province ng Saskatchewan, may student portal wherein you can upload your documents there para sa iyong application for student loan and grant. So, nasa inyo yun guys. If you decide na mag-aral, and then capable naman kayo na magbayad ng tuition fee, then just go for student grant. Sayang din naman kasi, 'di ba? But then if you don't have enough funds para ma-cover yung inyong pag-aaral, go for student loan and student grant. So, ang isang benefit guys of studying as a permanent resident as well is that may edge ka sa ibang competition mo sa ibang applicant kasi nag-aral ka ng post-secondary education. Kumbaga, yun yung edge mo sa iba eh. Meron kang certificate or meron kang diploma na recognized from the Canadian institution. Kumbaga, for me guys, in my personal experience since I graduated sa Saskatchewan Polytechnic, kapag, for example, gusto ko magpasa sa ganitong company, parang nai-invite ka agad ako sa interview. Unlike nung wala talaga akong Canadian education, ang experience ko lang ay food counter attendant sa Tim Hortons, hindi talaga ako tinatawagan guys. Never ako nagkaroon ng interview sa mga ina-applyan ko na entry-level admin jobs dahil wala akong Canadian work experience na related dun sa ina-applyan ko na industry. So talagang nakita ko yung difference since I got my post-secondary education from a recognized Canadian institution. Talagang nagkakaroon kagad ako ng invitation for an interview whenever I applied sa isang company. Pero unlike before talaga na ang work experience ko ay food counter attendant sa Tim Hortons. And then mag-a-apply ako ng entry-level job sa admin. Parang sobrang wala akong naririnig from the HR na they will invite me for an interview. But yun nga, ngayon na I hold a Canadian certificate or diploma from a recognized Canadian institution, nakita ko talaga yung difference guys na like, for example, I applied sa Saskatchewan Polytechnic ng enrollment service specialist. Pero kasi they just offered to me temporary only. So, hindi ko na siya pinursu. Before, talagang dati guys, since I got my permanent resident, I keep applying sa Saskatchewan Polytechnic ng mga admin jobs talaga. But, wala talaga ako naririnig sa kanila ng invitation from their HR. But when I graduated, talagang parang a day after I submitted my resume, yun nga, they invited me for an interview. But I didn't pursue it kasi nga, nang hinayang ako kasi I got my permanent position na. And then they only offer me for temporary. So parang, for me, I don't wanna risk it. Ayun guys. So, one of the perks then guys, if you decide na mag-pursue ng pag-aaral or post-secondary education is that you can transition to a new career role, 'di ba? Like what happened to me. So, from being a food counter attendant to being an admin in the healthcare industry. So, for me, parang isang malaking career transition na yun na talagang pinagpapasalamat ko talaga na I went back to school and get my post-secondary education. Kasi, if not, probably nandun pa rin ako sa food and service industry, which I'm very proud of naman talaga. But then, syempre, as we are getting older, syempre, di ba, parang nakakapagod din talaga, to be honest, na magtrabaho sa food and service industry. That's why yun din yung tinake consideration ko when I decide na mag-aral ulit. Kasi nga, para naman sa career advancement, 'di ba? Syempre hindi naman habang buhay food counter attendant tayo. Syempre meron din tayong mga dreams, 'di ba? So yun nga, if you decide na mag-pursue kayo ng post-secondary education, you'll get parang a new transition ba sa inyong career goals, 'di ba? Even hindi naman ako masyadong professional level talaga na mataas ang professional level here in Canada, 'di ba? Pero for me, it's a malaking advancement na yon in terms of career goals. Kasi from being a food counter attendant to being an admin in the healthcare industry, parang it's super hard talaga na you don't have any education like from the Canadian institution. It's super hard talaga na makapasok sa mga admin jobs sa government region or something like that. So, lalo na guys, if you are eyeing for a position sa mga government-related institutions. So, one of their requirement kapag binrowse nyo yung mga job posting na yun from the government is that you need to have a post-secondary education from a recognized Canadian institution. So, yun yung mga requirement nila. So, one of the perks din guys, if you graduated here in Saskatchewan, sa Saskatchewan province lang to guys. So, yung mga eligible graduates can get a rebate for up to 20 Canadian dollars. But, of course, it depends sa program na kinuha nyo. Sa tinatawag nilang graduate retention program, pag nag-file sila ng kanilang income tax here in Saskatchewan. So, applicable lang to sa mga Saskatchewan residents. So, I'm not sure sa ibang province kung they offer something like that as well. Pero here in Saskatchewan, if you graduated here, you can get a rebate through graduate retention program. So, if you decide to go back to school and get a post-secondary education, my piece of advice is that since you are a PR, you have the access for the student aid from the government. So, you can have a student loan and you can have a student grant, diba? So, some Canadian institution or schools apply on their student behalf. So, sila nagpo-process ng mga student loan and grants. Pero ako kasi, in my case, ako talaga nag-apply sa aking student loan and grant directly sa student portal ng Saskatchewan government. Humingi lang ako ng form sa SaskPoly pero ako talaga nag-process ng aking student loan and grant. Pero some Canadian institutions, talagang sila yung nag-a-apply on behalf of their student. So, sa pagpili ng Canadian institution or school na pag-aaralan nyo, kailangan i-make sure nyo na accredited yan guys or otherwise, sayang yung tuition fee nyo, diba? Kasi may mga fini-feature din sa news like CBC Marketplace. You can watch that too guys para magkaroon kayo ng idea na they feature CTI College wherein yung program pala nila ay hindi accredited. So sayang lang. Nagsayang lang yung mga student na in-interview dun sa news na yon na hindi pala sila makakapag-apply ng trabaho kasi hindi pala accredited yung kanilang program. So be very mindful guys sa mga yung parang papasukan nyo na school, especially if hindi dito for example, hindi dito sa Saskatchewan, parang sa ibang province sila na located and then they will just offer you an online education, diba? So, make sure na yung program na kukunin nyo or yung school na kukunin nyo, talagang accredited. Para pag nag-apply kayo sa specific na company na applyan nyo, talagang walang problem. Kasi guys, meron din akong kakilala na nag-aral dito sa specific school na to, nakalimutan ko na kung anong pangalan, basta they offered a laptop and a cashback or something like that. Yung pala, yung program niya ay hindi accredited. So, nung nag-apply siya ng position, hindi siya tinatanggap ng HR kasi yung curriculum niya ay hindi accredited nitong company na pinapasukan namin. So, be very mindful guys sa mga schools na nag-offer ng mga too good to be true kasi baka mamaya yung kanilang curriculum, 'di ba, ay hindi pala accredited. So make sure din sa gusto nyong pasukan ng company na o gusto nyong mag-aral, 'di ba? And then hingi talaga kayo ng accredited list of schools sa HR para hindi masayang yung tuition fee na i-spend nyo kasi syempre student loan yan or diba, student loan yan, babayaran nyo yan 6 months after you finish your program. So, you have to make sure na talagang okay lahat, diba? So, yun lang yung advice ko, guys. Be very, maging maalam, mag-research talaga. So, ayun, guys. So, yun nga, may mga nagtatanong din sa akin kung ako ba ay international student nung punta ako dito. So, ito na yung kasagutan ko. Hindi po ako international student. So, when I went back to school and get my post-secondary education, I was already a permanent resident. So, there you have it, guys. I hope meron kayong natutunan for today's video. So, kung may chance kayo na mag-aral and you hold a permanent resident, go for it, diba? Sayang din naman. Kasi, syempre, pwede niyong tawag yun nga, yung mga reasons na sinasabi ko kanina. So, if you like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell button para updated kayo sa aming mga vlogs na i-upload. Comment down below kung may mga questions kayo. See you sa next vlog. Bye!
You don't like it.